I always say selling on Alibaba.com is kind of like being at like 5 trade shows at once.
We've been able to seal a lot of deals just using the platform.
About 50 to 60%. My export business comes from Alibaba.
Going from doing one order to doing 20 or 30 orders in a 1 or 2 month period, the platform speaks for itself. That's just weight in gold.
I mean, when you do a good job with Alibaba.com, buyers from everywhere around the world, they will know about you. And I can now develop and export my product in over 45 countries.
Once I started with Alibaba, I was able to reach people all across the world, like Tanzania and Kenya and Africa and the UK and Germany.
I'm selling product in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Great Britain, and a host of others. I wouldn't have reached those customers without Alibaba.com.
Selling on Alibaba.com has gotten easier than ever, introducing our new flexible payment plan options. When you sign up for an Alibaba.com seller membership, choose between paying annually or quarterly. Regardless of which plan you choose, get the same seller service and all-encompassing suite of features that make us the world's leading online B2B marketplace. With 0% commission taken on sales, keep the customer relationships you make and profits you win. Conduct business the way you want to. Build the business you've always wanted, now with more flexibility than ever. Let's make it easy to do business anywhere.
Sell on Alibaba.com.
They made the onboarding process very, very easy. Once I paid my fees, after that, I don't need to worry about anything. If you have a product and you want to sell on international market, I would say you should not wait. You should just reach out to Alibaba.
We've been able to seal a lot of deals just using the platform. The best thing that Alibaba does really is the support that you get, because it's a whole new world once you get on the platform. Eric Cross and his team, they really help me and my team navigate the website, you know, what to do, what not to do, the best practices. So that really, to me, is like one of the greatest assets to being on the platform.
I think US-based sellers have a huge opportunity, specifically because there aren't that many of them. And we had a dedicated customer service success manager who was incredibly knowledgeable about the platform. And he honestly almost became a teammate. And I have no doubt that anyone else who is going through that process is going to have a similar experience.
Alibaba.com team is absolutely amazing. They were always there, making sure that I understand the platform. They were smart, very reactive whenever I had a question, and they were so patient. And as I continue to grow the business, they continue to connect me with experts to help me with specific business questions.
Why we got such a fast sale, I would attribute it to Alibaba's onboarding team. They've done a really great job building our store for us, and that's one reason why we're so successful, is they know what they're doing, so we trust them to do their job.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? My name is Jessica Chen and I'm a marketing manager at Alibaba.com North America. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's webinar. You made the products, we bring you the customers. Okay, so before we continue, first I want to learn a little bit about you, because thank you so much for showing up today in the middle of the day. So first off, I'm going to ask a few questions, and first question is, let's learn about you. What are you looking to do on Alibaba.com? Are you looking to sell products or source products, both sell and source, or maybe not neither of those? I'm going to give you another 15-ish seconds to think about it. It's always nice to know what you guys are doing so that we can tailor the webinar to be towards your interests. Okay, ready to get those last minute answers in? All right. So it looks like the majority of you are actually looking to sell products and also potentially both sell and source products, which is great, because this webinar is particularly tailored towards people who have a product and would like to sell it probably internationally, but also domestically. Okay. There you go. You can see the percentages. Okay, so Next question. There's only 3. Don't worry. The next one is, what kind of business are you? Are you a manufacturer, a wholesaler, a distributor, a retailer, or maybe some other kind of business? So this is important because it lets us know like what kind of what you might be looking to do with your products when you are taking them online. Our platform is really great because you can use it in a number of different ways depending on what strategy works best for you. Okay, so another few seconds. And okay, so it looks like a lot of you guys are manufacturers. This is great. That usually means you are making your own products. And so finding the right customers for you to sell those products to will be really important. And other is also a great proportion, which will be really interesting. We look forward to seeing how you can find your place on this platform. Okay. And finally, what would you like from us? So these are some kind of general directions that will help inform how we want to talk about everything. So that says, what are you looking forward to? First one is how to sell effectively on Alibaba.com. Maybe you're familiar with our platform, but you're not quite sure how to use it to its fullest potential. How to use Alibaba.com's algorithm to enhance your store and your sales. Like maybe you want to learn about that, like how best to capitalize on our platform and how it works. The best practices for listing your products on the platform. Our platform has a really interesting way of listing our listing products that show your capability. So knowing how to use that effectively is also very important. And also how to use advertising to promote your products on Alibaba.com. Because advertising on the platform is also very important in determining whether or not you have visibility on the platform, whether the right kind of buyers can see what you're making. So there we go. So it looks like most people are interested in knowing the best ways to sell effectively on Alibaba.com, which means you're in luck. A lot of today's presentation covers the specific tools and best practices you can use to sell and reach customers on the platform. So yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for participating in the poll. Thanks. And before we start, in case you guys are not really familiar with our platform, here's a brief introduction so you can know a little bit about us now that we know a little bit about you.
Unleash infinite business opportunities with Alibaba.com, the world's largest online B2B marketplace. With over 40 million active buyers, 300,000 daily inquiries, important business deals are being made around the world all the time using our platform. Best of all, we take 0% commission on your sales. By signing up as an Alibaba.com supplier, you keep the money you earn, every single cent. Now is the perfect time to sign up. Professional onboarding services can get you started faster and with less stress than ever. Take advantage of classic Alibaba.com features, such as attracting buyers from over 200 countries and regions to your online store, where they can reach out with inquiries about your products. There's also no need to worry about language barriers. We translate your store and messages into 15 languages so you can communicate with the world with ease. Proactively net orders by browsing and responding to sourcing requests on the Request for a Quotation or RFQ market. Any relationships you gain from reaching out to sourcers on the RFQ market are yours. Finally, attain exclusive data-driven insights and 24/7 customer support from our team right here in the USA. We'll help guide you to success using proprietary insight gained from our over 20 years in online B2B sales. Because of these features, Alibaba.com has become the wholesale B2B platform trusted by US suppliers. Grow with us no matter your business type. Now, it's easier than ever to start selling with our new flexible payment options. Let's make it easy to do business anywhere. Sell on Alibaba.com. Unleash.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you a brief idea about what Alibaba.com can do and what you can do on our platform. One thing I wanted to say is before we continue is that if you have any questions whatsoever, you can use the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen to put your questions so we can keep track of them. This is a live webinar, which means the beauty of that is that we have people here, including me and also our special guest later, who can answer your questions at the end. But any time during this presentation, feel free to enter your questions. You don't have to hold on to them until the end. And so for today's presentation, here's like a brief rundown of the content. So first, we're going to walk you through what is Alibaba.com and what you can do on here. And also what tools on the platform, built into the platform, can be used to help bring you B2B customers that you would like. And then also how you can harness Alibaba.com's infamous 40 million buyer traffic. And also, if you want to start selling, what you can do to start your account on this platform. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our special guest. So we have here our enterprise account executive, Ethan Case. Welcome. Let's welcome Ethan to the presentation. Yay.
Thanks so much, Jessica. Good to be on. Let me see if I can share my video.
Hold on. I got you. Here.
Great, there we are. My name is Ethan Case. I'm a senior or enterprise account executive for Alibaba North America out of our New York City office. Been working here a couple years now, one of the more tenured members of our team. I focus on customer relationships, building relationships with prospective customers, figuring out whether or not they should be selling on the platform. That's big, knowing whether our platform is right for you. And then being your kind of internal eyes and ears within the company. I'm not an account management, so to speak, but I will always be your go-to person if you have any issues, higher level admin stuff, etc. I'm the relationship guy at Alibaba. So getting into things a little bit, I want to share my screen here. Let me see.
Yes, if you run into trouble, let me know. You should be able to.
It says I can't. Let's see. It's going now.
There you go.
All right. So
Hey.
Alibaba.com is the world's leading business-to-business e-com platform. We do this through a number of ways. We've developed the largest business-to-business buyer base on the face of the planet, the largest supplier network on the planet in over 200 countries and regions around the world. We have over 40 million or so active buyers per month from over 200 countries and regions, 200,000 suppliers, 40 industries covered, and in particular, 18 languages that auto-translate, can convert your SEO messages, etc., to allow us to kind of fulfill our mantra of making it easy to do business anywhere. In terms of buyer bases for those manufacturers and distributors on this network, you'll probably be interested to see where the buyers are coming from. Our largest buyer base is the US, followed by the UK, Canada, Australia, Mexico for our top 5. Given that 3 of these top 5 are within North America, this is our primary buyer base. This is our most important network. Our company is very invested in increasing both buyers and suppliers in these regions, particularly in this current era with exports out of Asia going down. Buyers are looking for additional sourcing opportunities, lower distribution costs, fees, etc. So my job is to connect with businesses like yours to determine if we have the buyer demand for you, if the platform is right for you, and to teach you kind of how to use the platform here. Terms of features, we have all the bells and whistles of any self-respecting e-commerce platform. However, I wouldn't necessarily qualify us as an e-com system, given that we're strictly business to business, and we allow you, here's the key part, we allow you to take that buyer that you connect with on Alibaba offline. We don't hoard that data. This is more of an online trade show or a lead gen system than anything else. Now, if you want to post products, as you should, our posting team will help you through, help you with the SEO. It is a very unique listing system that is specifically focused for business-to-business connections. So the account management team will help you incorporate your business capabilities in all your listings, as well as your Alibaba storefront. We have kind of a mini site that could be your, if you think of that trade show analogy, the trade show booth, so to speak. which products you present out front, which ones you have in back, which ones you are promoting, how to connect with the buyers, etc. All of that is done through the storefront as well as the listings. Now, a couple other really cool features here is the RFQ marketplace, request for quotation. I will get much more in detail into that section in a moment. But long story short, it is buyers that are posting what they're looking for. You can be more proactive, connect directly with them. I've already mentioned the real-time translation into 18 different languages. This helps communicate internationally across the world. Most things are done in English on the platform. International business is mostly done in English. However, if you're getting a buyer from any country that doesn't speak English, they'll type in their language and you can just type in English. Everyone will be able to understand each other as long as it's in one of the 18 most commonly spoken languages worldwide. We also have payment and order protection through an escrow program called Trade Assurance. This allows you to create trust between buyer and seller. I typically recommend that suppliers take the sale offline as soon as possible because there is a small escrow fee involved in that. That is a much lower fee than a bank would charge you or any online escrow service, given that we have one of the largest private financial institutions in-house here at Alibaba. So if you want to use that, it's available. I usually recommend it as to build trust with the buyer. Once that trust is built, take it offline. No need to pay that fee. You can also then just collect your fees directly from the buyer. Makes it a little bit easier. All the other features here are pretty standard for e-com. I don't think we need to get too deep into them. Again, we have all the bells and whistles of a self-respecting e-com platform, as well as a bunch of others, which I'd like to get into. So in terms of the tools that can actually bring you these business-to-business customers here, this is an example, Alco Prevention. It's a Canadian company founded in the early 2000s, I believe. They joined Alibaba to really, they had their product, as the title of this webinar states, they have their product, and they were looking for buyers, both domestically in US, in Canada, North America, as well as global. And they joined Alibaba to kind of increase their buyer network. Very fortuitous timing for them. Right after they joined, France passed a law saying that all cars have to have some sort of blood alcohol test, a breathalyzer in them. And they were able to land some pretty massive orders straight off the bat with French companies, and just to try to increase their buyer network. That is exactly what we do. You have the products, we bring the buyers. Just as a trade show does, we're responsible for bringing the buyers, setting up the space. That's our job. Your job is to have the products and connect with those buyers in any way you see fit.
Our products are sold in drugstores, for example. We also have products that we test employees. When they come at work, we want to make sure that they're not impaired or they have too much alcohol. So we can test employees. Or during an event, corporate event, like a Christmas party, for example, we want to make sure our employees or guests are going home. And with our product, we can save lives, which is very important. My name is Stéphane Moret, and I've been working in that industry since 1989. So I started that company back in 1989. There was no breathalyzer offered to consumer at that time. All our products are FDA certified. We have all the certification. I think we have the knowledge, and the people they trust us because I give an after-sales service. I treat people like I'd like to be treated as a customer. We need to be sure that people know our products. So working with Alibaba.com, we need to post a lot of products every week, every month, and we want to make sure that our products are on the top list. Being known in every country is very important for us. I remember back in 2013, France made mandatory to have breathalyzer in every car. So we got a lot of people looking for breathalyzer on Alibaba.com, and I was surrounded by hundreds of requests because they were looking for breathalyzer at that time. So we sold billions of units. Can you believe that? The most powerful thing about Alibaba is being known everywhere within a few seconds. I mean, when you do a good job with Alibaba.com, buyers from everywhere around the world, they will know about you. And I can now develop and export my product in over 45 countries. You need to be very dedicated. And I mean, very dedicated can be, can take a lot of time. I mean, answer fast, be serious, be professional. You need to adapt your proposal to every customer, okay? And make it special.
Great. So I do want to highlight here what he said there at the very end. Something I like to talk about with every supplier I work with on the first call or connection. This is not a passive network. It's not a direct to consumer network where you simply post products and let those orders kind of roll in. You do have to be active on Alibaba. Going back to that trade show analogy, you can't spend 10 minutes on a trade show floor, expect to receive orders and go home and make money from that. You need to be active for the full weekend. Same with Alibaba, except we are 24/7, 365. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be on the platform all day long. I would say maybe 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, but you do need to be responding to buyers. We can bring you all the traffic in the world, but if you don't respond to that buyer in a timely manner, they will go somewhere else. So this is a partnership, and that's a relationship that I like to cultivate here. So in order to kind of delve a little bit deeper into our platform, I guess, how do you attract business-to-business buyers with your brand and message here? You can be honest with your capacity, respond quickly to inquiries, build and continue the relationship. This is like any relationship generator or trade show here. It is very active and it's business to business. Obviously, the payoff being the B2B sales are significantly larger than our direct to consumer competition. And at the end of the day, the business to business network and potential sales is about 6 times the amount as a direct to consumer buyers worldwide. So certainly worth it to put in that time and effort. But I do like to stress that it's not a passive program. You'll need to work with me and the account management team to log in, structure your platform well, and continue responding to buyers. All right, so the RFQ marketplace. I mentioned earlier I was going to delve in a little bit to it. This is RFQ. This is where the buyers are posting what they're looking for. Extremely effective, especially when you're onboarding to Alibaba to use this extensively. You're able to be more proactive and go out and find the buyers for yourself. Our organic listing algorithm, that's when buyers find you in the search results, takes a couple months to start identifying who you are, who you're trying to connect with. So during that period, certainly use the RFQ marketplace every single day if you can. Even once the algorithm starts to identify who you are years into it, you should be maxing out your RFQ rights. You get 20, 40 per month, depending on the package here. Extremely effective. Generally, I found anecdotally as well that the buyers on the RFQ marketplace are perhaps on a little bit higher quality. Larger buyers, they are sourcing agents for some of the largest brands or manufacturers or big box retailers in the country and the world. If you go out and find these for yourself, you're very proactive with it. Very, very good way to be successful on our platform. So now more towards the organic listings. This is when you post a product. How do you post it in a manner that will actually show up on search results? So I mentioned earlier about the potential, I guess, why you should be doing this. The B2B e-commerce world is 6 times larger than the B2C e-commerce world globally, as you can see by the U.S. International Trade Commission. Certainly, the value is here, but most people kind of think of it as a direct-to-consumer world. It's totally different interaction style, totally different onboarding. That's what I'm here to help you with, as well as the account management team. Alibaba goes far beyond simply listing products, and your account management team will help you with the SEO, figuring out which keywords, et cetera, are best for our algorithm. We give you access to global data trends, keyword analysis, keyword searches by buyers, synonyms that might be more effective than the words that you have been using in your marketing so far, top countries and regions for your products. We actually have suppliers that don't sell anything on the platform that simply use our service for this data analysis. A lot of other data companies cost more than Alibaba for much less access and less data. So the combination of being able to post products and know which products and listings to post, where to market them, to which buyer groups to market them towards, what keywords to use, which countries, etc. That value alone is unprecedented before you even get into actually making sales here. Once you do post products, we'll give you data overview of the listings themselves, how they're doing, which ones are doing better. You can then match your listings to the most effective listings. You can even see which listings from other suppliers do really well, keywords, etc., to match your listings to those. You can get data trends, dashboards. We do go pretty deep into this, and myself and the account manager team will help you through this. I know it's a lot. If you are a data or marketing person on this call right now, I'm sure you can see the value to this. If you're not, ask someone that you know about this sort of thing. I'm sure they'll tell you it's pretty unprecedented the amount of access we give you. And also key bit being that this is business to business focused. If you go to Google or something, you might get a B2B hit every once in a while. This is only business to business. The value here is pretty spectacular. So this is a little overview about wholesale jewelry owned by Tony Christoffi, who you'll hear from in a moment in a video. They use these analysis features quite effectively when they first onboarded to the platform to figure out which products to highlight on their mini site, which products to accentuate over other ones, add some paid marketing, which we can get into in a moment. And they were able to actually receive ROI on a premium package within 30 days. Just using these features can be extremely effective.
Hi, I'm Tony Christoffi, CEO of wholesaleJewelryWebsite.com. The job as a business owner is to push the company into new markets and to move product. We have over 1 million pieces of jewelry that are ready to ship. So I had to think of a way to have a farther reach without actually going anywhere. And the way to do that is B2B. We export to 5 or 6 different countries right now. There's a lot of e-commerce retailers looking for new suppliers that are reliable. I think reliability is key, and there's not a lot of reliability in the market. And I think having a great platform with great SEO is very important to our success. They say opportunity only knocks once. So when Alibaba decided to launch in the US, I thought it was a great opportunity for wholesaleJewelryWebsite.com to be available to 40 plus million buying consumers, which is just unheard of. I mean, if you just look at it percentages wise, if you get a fraction of a percent, you're going to be doing just fine. And I think the RTS is what's made us so successful so quickly, because our products are on there with our inventory attached to it, ready to ship today. Another thing I like about Alibaba is I don't have to focus so much on SEO. They have an inboard program that does it for you. So it makes it really easy. So I don't have to worry about Google ad spend, Facebook ad spend, Instagram, Pinterest. I don't have to worry about all that, because as long as you're a really good communicator, they're going to put you to the top of the feed because they want the best for their consumers. Why we got such a fast sale, I would attribute it to Alibaba's onboarding team. They've done a really great job building our store for us. And that's one of the reasons why we're so successful, is they know what they're doing. So we trust them to do their job, and they did it really well.
Tony mentioned something there that I do want to highlight about off-platform advertising as well. Alibaba advertising does not just show up on Alibaba.com in the search results. It shows up on a host of other networks. There's a number of different advertising options, which we will get into, but it can show up on Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Alibaba is the world's largest holder of Google keywords, one of the world's largest omni-channel marketers as well. We allow you for an unprecedentedly low cost to market to all of these at once. If anyone on this call has used Google keywords, Facebook or Amazon marketing, etc., you'll know that it racks up pretty high. I think the average successful direct-to-consumer seller on our primary competition spends about $80,000 a year in marketing to those websites. This is a fraction of that. We'll get into prices momentarily. Keep in mind, the marketing is not just on Alibaba, it is off Alibaba as well. And we market at an international level. Given that we're a global company, we can't expect a Pakistani seller to pay what a US seller expects to pay for e-commerce marketing. So it is extremely affordable, and the reach is much more than a lot of the competition, and it's specifically business to business. If you have a B2B model, this is your best bet here. So how do you start selling? That's what I'm here for. As you can see here, Tony attributed it to the onboarding team. I am more in the relationship management aspect of this. I think he probably means more the account management team. But I start things off. So I or one of my colleagues in my account executive office will connect with you, figure out if your model is conducive to Alibaba. That's extremely important. We don't want to waste people's time, our own time. We only really work with people that we think will be successful on the platform. After that, go through payment, go through business verification. We take things very stringently. We are in alignment with the Informed Consumer Act that was passed recently to provide a lot of information about all suppliers on our network, so the buyers can know who they're searching for, who they're connecting with. After business verification, that is when you would be connected with the account management team for the actual meat of the onboarding period. They'll help you build your storefront. They'll actually build it for you in most cases, unless you choose one of the lowest value packages. They will assist with the product uploading. They'll provide you with a spreadsheet to fill out for all your products and then upload them into our system. Keep in mind, if you were to do that yourself, it would take 15-20 minutes per product. It's very unique uploading system, unique SEO, unique pictures that you need, etc. So that account management team, as you've heard from Tony and a number of the other suppliers on the videos, is integral to your success on Alibaba. Also, as you kind of progress through the stages of selling on Alibaba, we have what we call ASTE, or Alibaba Seller Training e-course, that helps you level up. Technically, this is a multi-year course, so there'll be different topics every month. It's held once a month. Highly encourage you to join these. Also, we have a number of other webinar training programs in addition to the one-on-one connections with your account manager. The head of account management runs these webinars himself. Extremely important. He's a wizard at all of this. Highly recommend, if you do move forward with Alibaba, to join all of the training webinars you can. We also have a database. If you want to check out more seller success videos, if you want to see some previous webinars we've hosted, you can scan this QR code to be routed to our YouTube channel. You'll hear more about Tony. He actually joined one of the webinars, and that's where he talks about getting ROI within 30 days on a premium membership. There's seller success cases from a bunch of different suppliers throughout North America. Highly recommend, if you have some extra time, to just do some browsing there. Now to the elephant in the room, pricing. As you can see, extremely reasonable for e-commerce. If you've sold on any of the large e-commerce platforms worldwide, you know just how much they take out of your profits. Up to 30% in some cases in terms of commission. We don't take commission. We couldn't expect someone to give us 30% of a $100,000 order. We function on a yearly membership basis. Now, for the basic and standard options, we do also have quarterly payment options. We don't have that for the premium or verified supplier. Typically, that's a much higher level of service as well as level of business. So they typically gravitate towards the yearly options on those ones anyway. However, if you do want a quarterly payment option on the premium or something, or the verified supplier, we're trying to make that case to headquarters. Let us know your thoughts. It would help in getting that option as well. So running through this, the basic is self-service. I recommend this only if you had previous Alibaba experience. I hope I've conveyed, and the sellers in these videos have conveyed, how unique our system is. Even if you have a lot of e-com knowledge, it can be difficult to interact with it on your own. We can modify our program according to any business-to-business model under the sun. We have different features, account levels, listing types, videos, etc. So it takes a back-end understanding of our system to do it right. So again, if you have previous experience, the basic could be totally fine for you. If you don't have previous experience with Alibaba, but you want to save a little bit of money, the standard would be your best bet. Keep in mind, this has outsourced account management. This is not handled by our in-house account management team. They're still very good at what they do. I've found that that team just generally onboards a little bit slower. If anything does come up, they're not quite adept at understanding the back end, interacting with our system, getting things taken care of. For instance, myself, I have contacts and around the world for Alibaba, and different teams, etc. If anything happens to my customers, I help them out. I figure it out very quickly. Those outsourced account managers just don't have that level of internal connection. So it can be a little bit slower to onboard, a little bit more difficult to interact with our system. The quality might not be as high there. However, if you do have an extremely high level of e-com knowledge, I've had some of my customers be extremely successful on this package. Certainly not a bad one to pick. Premium is my favorite. That's what most people should be onboarding with if you have the funds there. It allows you to connect directly with our local account management team, has a much higher level of access to data tools that I mentioned earlier. Not the same on every package. The higher package you get, the more access to data you do have and different tools, as well as more products posted by our team. The premium and verified will post 200 by our team. You can post unlimited, but again, it takes 15 to 20 minutes per product to post. So very effective to just have our team do it for you. The standard package will post, I think it's 50 or 60 for you. And then the basic, you have to do everything yourself. Getting a little bit kind of deeper here, the premium also has a much higher level of SEO backend. Tony, I mentioned earlier, the wholesale jewelry guy, a couple of those other, they were all on premium when they talk about, our team doing everything for them, the SEO, making it easy to interact. All that's on premium. That's why I highly recommend going with it for the onboarding period. Oftentimes, what I suggest is starting with premium and then year 2, either dropping down to standard or basic or upgrading to verified. Verified supplier is our creme de la creme supplier option. It has a much higher level of trust from the buyers, has about 2 times the conversion rate, as well as inquiries and pretty much across all metrics, given that our verified suppliers are visited in person by a third-party authentication team. For the US, that's SGS. SGS is one of the most reputable and largest verification companies worldwide. They'll go to your facility, video it, see your documents, upload the certifications into the system. Not only then will you be visible on Alibaba's product search bar, but also on our manufacturer search bar. If you're a manufacturer, I do highly recommend looking at this option. It is pretty pricey. It comes out a couple different options. The main one is about $20,000 per year. So it's certainly our highest level, but it does come with about twice the visibility as our other packages. Bunch of other pros to that, but they get a little bit nitpicky. So if you want to discuss that one-on-one, feel free to schedule a consultation. Here's the calendar link. On any of these packages, mind you, I'm happy to connect with you, figure out, again, if you should be selling on Alibaba, which package is best for you, and then be your internal representative in Alibaba for as long as you work on our system. So again, here's my calendar link. Feel free to schedule a consultation if you would like. If you do want to delve deeper into this, let me know. To keep in mind, this is for suppliers on our network. If you do have buyer questions, you can certainly schedule a call. I might just figure out which team is better for you and connect you with that team. We have buyer services, buyer programs, etc. I guess either one, you feel free to schedule, but I am specifically supplier focused. All right, so that's my presentation for today. I know I'm going to turn it back over to Jessica here. Thank you so much, guys.
Yay! Thank you so much, Ethan. That was really great. I think I love how like real you are with everyone during these presentations. Like I feel like you give everyone a really good idea of like what they're in for.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's certainly, it's not something that you should do if you're not right for the platform. I don't waste anyone's time, my time, money. Alibaba doesn't really make money year one. You really have to continue selling on the platform for us to be profitable here. So it's certainly in everyone's best interest for me to be very candid and figure out if you should even be working on the platform here.
Yeah, and so also like right now is the Q&A session, which is like the most for me, one of the best parts about doing this live is being able to directly answer people's questions. Don't worry, there's still time. If you want to submit a question, please use the Q&A box below. Okay, so the first one we kind of already went over, but like if you want to talk about this again, it says, what is the cost associated with this relationship? So what is the cost? How does pricing work on Alibaba.com?
Absolutely. So we have the yearly memberships for the basic, the $2,000 package, and the standard $34.99. You're welcome to pay quarterly. So I think that would be $600 versus almost $900 per quarter. However, with the higher level packages, those are upfront fees. That's the bulk of the fee. However, as you go along, maybe 6-9 months in, a year in, if you want to look at paid marketing, we also have a number of options, which I don't think we really covered today too much in the slides, but I mentioned it a few times. Extremely effective, extremely low cost. I think a pretty good marketing would be 500, at most 1,000 per month. That's a tiny fraction of what you would pay to Google keywords or Amazon or something like that. So again, I like to focus on the organic listing quality for the first 6 months, 9 months. Marketing is more a secondary conversation. I don't think there's any point in putting paid marketing on an unoptimized listing. So to reiterate, a yearly program, packages ranging from $2,000 up to $20,000. Typically recommend starting with one of the middle level packages. And then down the road, you should probably be looking at some marketing. All in all, if you're used to selling on Etsy or something like that, this might seem like a very high cost. However, if you're used to attending trade shows or you have a lot of success on other direct-to-consumer networks, I'm sure you'll see this as a pretty staggeringly low cost for the amount of traffic. My top suppliers are getting over 1 million impressions a month for business-to-business specific traffic. So hope that answered the question.
Yeah, and also if you want like a more like in-depth like view of like what the supplier experience is, just briefly plugging this here is that I put the registration link in the box, in the chat box, so you can click on it. But next week's webinar is after we have a special guest. One of our suppliers is actually speaking next week. So, and because it's live, he is also there to answer all of your questions. So there, if we don't get to you for some reason today, sign up for the one next week and come back. We'd love to see you again. So another question is by Lewis. It says, for shipments overseas, does Alibaba.com have a central warehouse in the US where you will handle custom forms and the ultimate customer will pay the freight charges? So I feel like this has to do with logistics.
Mm-hmm. We don't. We're a business-to-business network. That's kind of a direct-to-consumer, I guess, service there. You can imagine how much warehousing space we would need to have for business-to-business. We do orders into the millions, hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes. it wouldn't really be too effective for us to have that option, shipping from the US externally. It's something that I know other networks can do, AliExpress sometimes, Amazon, etc. But for us, not really. Additionally, the VAT tax, the distribution, etc., that's on you. This is a large world of business to business traffic. We can do everything we can to connect you with that traffic, but at the end of the day, it's on you to make that sale happen. That's why we're an effective platform. That's why we've been able to globalize. That's why we're the only real business to business e-com platform that operates globally, is because we don't get involved in that. We don't micromanage your connection with that buyer. We don't hoard that information. It does certainly require you to know how to interact globally. And we can kind of give you tips and tricks, but at the end of the day, it is up to you.
Right. And I think there's also more to do with like shipping and stuff abroad with Richard's question. It's like, I'm concerned about shipping complications because our products are heavy. I'm also wondering how many of the businesses are going to ask for free samples before ordering. Another concern is the VAT tax in Europe. So there's three questions in this question.
Yeah. No, really good questions. And these are the questions that I love to answer on these webinars as well as one-on-one. If you have anything really focused on your business, you want to ask me, even get even more personal, scan that QR code, we can certainly get into it. But for Richard here, shipping complications are certainly an issue to think about, whether it's customs or taxes, etc. Weight, exactly. It can be difficult. What I've found, however, is that if you have a product that is unique in some way, it's going to sell well on Alibaba, even if it's heavy. If you have some leg up on the competition, you will find success on the platform. Alibaba has, given that we have the largest buyer base on the planet for business to business sales, it operates more or less similarly to the free market. What do they tell you in business 101? The only business class I ever took, but it's what makes your products unique, your business really unique here. If you have something, whether that's really effective distribution, fast shipping, contract manufacturing, unique product IP, brand IP, anything that makes your business more legitimate, more effective, and more competitive than the other suppliers on Alibaba and worldwide, you will have demand for that product. But again, distributing that product, that's up to you. We can give you tips and tricks, but it is your business, your product. And so we found a very effective method, not micromanaging the actual distribution.
Yeah, and also in terms of heavy products, Richard, we mentioned before there is the Alibaba.com, the seller YouTube channel. I think if you look up Alibaba.com USA sellers, the link is also in the chat box. There's actually a success story that talks about a company that sold like heavier products. I think they're the bean product guys. You can look through their case study too, because for them, I think they were the guys who made the first like body pillows or something. And because it's like, body pillows, and then in order to get the materials for those body pillows, they had to like source a bunch of like different things you'd put in those pillows, and it was really heavy. And so there was also a lot of shipping complications with theirs too. But for them, they were able to definitely surpass it while being on the platform. So if you want more information, that could be a good one to look at. And also, of course, you can always book a meeting with Ethan.
Certainly. And just connecting with this global traffic is worth it. These are good questions to have, good issues to have. If you connect with that buyer and need to figure that out, that's effective. That's money right there. You want to have these problems. So keep these questions coming. Let me know if you want to talk one-on-one, Richard.
Yes. And then John has a question. Do you help with manufacturing? So this is an interesting one.
Sure. So that would be more on the buyer side. And this webinar isn't totally tailored to you, John, I think. If you're searching for a manufacturer, that's what Alibaba does. We have the largest network of manufacturers, distributors, resellers on the planet, about 220, 230,000 of them. Connecting directly with the manufacturer, though, can be a little bit different or difficult on the platform because we have such a wide range of business-to-business suppliers. If you do want to connect directly with the manufacturer, the best method would be to go to Alibaba. You'll see the top search bar. So it says products above it. Switch over to that manufacturer search bar. I mentioned this earlier in my verified supplier overview, that top level package where you'll be visible on that manufacturer tab as well. So if you want to cut through distributors, resellers, etc., and go straight to manufacturers, that would be your best bet. Or in the product search bar, you can just click verified supplier. Now, not 100% of these guys are manufacturers, but it certainly increases your chances of connecting directly with the manufacturer, lowers the price, etc. So while this isn't specifically my area of expertise, certainly that's what Alibaba is for. Have at it, have fun finding manufacturers, whether it's manufacturers that can drop ship or just produce whole factory runs. We have anything and everything. Send out inquiries to a bunch of them, at least 10, if not a lot more manufacturers on the platform. Figure out which one is best for you and go with that.
Also, additionally, like the other part of this is that we have a fair amount of some suppliers on here also do things like white labeling. And so if you need manufacturing capabilities, you can usually find suppliers who are willing to do that kind of thing. And one of our most successful case studies is Dan Rosenfield of like Totally Products. His video is also on our YouTube channel. And he also in his video talks about how he helps other people make vitamins and supplements based, like they will give him orders and he will package it for them with their branding and stuff. So if you don't currently have manufacturing capability, it is also possible to find that manufacturing capability on the platform. And if you really, really need help looking for it, you're having trouble just using the search tools, we also have Alibaba.com Match, which is where we have a personal service. You can probably Google it. Like there's a service where we have people on the team that will help people connect themselves to suppliers who can help them. So if you have a specific need, like there was like a case study where someone was trying to source bicycles from Taiwan, they were able to connect the person who was looking and then a bicycle manufacturer in Taiwan together and stuff. So yeah, there's also that.
Absolutely. And I'd like to kind of expand a little bit on that as well, Jessica. If you need to prototype a product, if you are sourcing an extremely high quantity, I highly recommend doing Ali Match. It is a paid program at $1,000, but you'll get access to an Alibaba account manager. You can give them your entire sourcing requirements. X price to quality ratio, has worked with, large brands in the past, has X, Y, and Z certifications, can ship to this location. It takes the place of a sourcing agent, which if you've used a sourcing agent, is many times that fee. Also, only about our top 10% quality of suppliers can have access to this program to work on it. So you will be guaranteed to connect with the top level of supplier. If you want to learn more, scan my QR code. I'm happy to connect you directly with the head of that program.
Yeah, so there's always like different ways you can figure it out. There's so many different ways you can use this platform. Okay, so Elle has a question. Do you have to have been selling the product before coming to Alibaba, or can you join and go to market as soon as the product is ready to ship? And actually, ready to ship is really important to talk about too. I think Tony mentions that in his video.
Absolutely. So I guess you don't have to have a product before you join Alibaba. I would recommend it. If you haven't worked in the business world, if you're just starting your business, it can be a little bit difficult to interact. You might want to go with one of the lower level packages, just get your feet wet. Maybe the quarterly standard option at $900 per quarter can be really good. You'll get the account management. I think right now we actually have a promo on that. So you get a month of local account management on that one before you get past to the outsourced account management team. So extremely effective. If you want to kind of dip your toes into the business to business world, I would recommend that package. Again, it's best to have products ready, kind of know what you're doing. It's not absolutely essential. We have people that have seen a lot of success just getting into it, especially if they've planned it out, they have a good business model, and just using Alibaba to kind of increase their reach. So definitely doable if you don't currently have a product, but I would recommend in most cases kind of at least laying the groundwork for a business model before you join Alibaba.
I agree. And although if any of this has to do with like quantity and stuff, then like the ready to ship stuff is also very important if you are trying to set up your business on Alibaba.com. Because like since everything we do have, like people can set their minimum order quantities and stuff, but ready to ship allows them to send out samples and establish trust with the buyers beforehand, which is very useful for developing those business relationships. Yeah. So anyway, and then finally, I have one more question. If you have any more questions, you can still submit Q&A boxes below. This question is from Edward. It says, I just want to build up my own brand and could sell on my webpage. How can that package help me do that? Well, this is interesting and also very important because, as we mentioned, there's a seller coming next week, and they actually kind of had this issue going on as well. They had their own page and everything, and Tony also had his own page. But what is the value that Alibaba.com brings to it?
Absolutely. Is that It's Skinny coming next week, Jessica? Or...
No, it's Concession King. Concession
Oh,
King
perfect, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Building a brand with Alibaba is certainly doable. There's a number of good videos also on our YouTube page. I think it's actually Building a Brand with Alibaba is the title of one of them, from It's Skinny, which was a healthy pasta company that does consumer packaged good pastas. I've seen them pop up in my local grocery stores recently, getting bigger and bigger. They really wanted to tap into Alibaba's just buyer network, and that's how you should do it. It's really hard to build brand recognition. As you know, building a brand, Alibaba is not necessarily going to increase your brand name. It's a way to tap into buyers that are looking for products similar to your brand and then promote your brand through that. So if you would, rather than promoting your brand on Alibaba, you would promote the products themselves and then have your brand attached to it. That would gain you massive amounts of traffic, gain eyeballs on your brand. We also have a brand new marketing device called a brand banner that purchase on Alibaba. I think it's about $1,000 to purchase on Alibaba. The key part of this is it's of course your brand, but it markets, this is what I was mentioning earlier, it markets on Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. If you've tried to market through those devices on your own, you know that's going to be $100,000 or something like that compared to our $1,000 for this. So if there's ways to help you build a brand, Alibaba can be extremely effective for that, just getting eyeballs on your product if you use the right method. If you go on to put your brand name, 500 times on Alibaba, not much is going to happen. People aren't already searching for your brand. Using the right method, working with the account management team, working with me, we can certainly build brand recognition.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, I think the biggest part, like if you already have your own web page, the easiest way I can put this to you is I used to work in digital marketing, so I understand SEO. So like, if you have your own web page, it's probably really difficult to get your web page to rank high enough on Google so that you're on the first web page. As we know, at least I think the number is definitely more than 60%. I think it's like almost close to 80% of people never go beyond the first page of Google search results. So if you are currently having your own web page and you're trying to build your brand yourself, it's actually incredibly difficult, especially without any paid resources, which, as Ethan mentioned before, is very expensive. However, with Alibaba.com, like if you connect your web page to your Alibaba.com store, which is very possible, and take that traffic, you're diverting a traffic that's already interested in buying products B2B to your website instead of relying solely on Google and the Google algorithm, which, as you know, can be very, very flippant sometimes. So therefore, there is also, even if you have your own e-commerce presence, it's oftentimes very useful to still have Alibaba.com as an additional traffic stream to bring people to you. And of course, because you don't have to do all your transactions on the platform, it's like you have even more freedom to deal with these customer relationships as you would like. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, anyway, if there are no more questions, then I think we are at the end of our hour. So thank you so much for joining us and for having all these really wonderful, very insightful questions. Again, on this screen is the QR code for Ethan. His meeting link is also here. I can send it into the chat. So if you would like to talk to him privately about your own particular business case, please do so. You don't have to pay anything for a meeting, right?
And Edward, I'll send you an email after this.
Yeah, and thank you so much for attending. Everyone who attended today will receive a recording of this presentation as well as a PDF version of the slides. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next week where we'll be joined by Concession King.